All right, what's up, Ashaman? This is Steven, Jake, and Caden with another Wheel of Time episode from Fantology. And we're actually slightly changing our format. So this episode is going to be a quick, no spoiler for Lord of Chaos. Spoilers books 1 through 5. That's kind of unavoidable, but no spoilers for book 6. So if you're considering starting 6 or you're about to, consider this your primer. We're just going to talk about some general stuff and give a rating. It's going to be quick, and then tune into our next episode that'll be right after this one. And that one's going to have full spoilers. We'll do our kind of character ratings and plot talk through a little bit there. So, Lord of Chaos, published in 94. It's got the puffy shirt cover from Seinfeld. If you've seen that, am I right, Jake? It's been
I don't want to
memed.
be a pirate. Yeah.
Yeah, Caden, have you seen the old cover for this one? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I looked it up after, you told me about it, so I went and looked it up. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
totally agree. Yep, puffy shirt.
Puffy shirt cover. Yeah.
Yep.
Go watch Seinfeld, kids. This one was interesting for me. I thought the character list like really exploded in this one, and it kind of took a different turn that really kind of changed the direction of the series, I would say. But what were some of your guys' like overall impressions of this one? And keep in mind, no specific plot points, just how much did you like it and what are you going to remember about it afterwards?
Yeah, so my overall impression, I didn't like it as much as the previous books. And maybe just after reading book 4 and 5, which I really liked, and those two, I just felt like it kept getting better so far in the series from book 1 all through book 5.
And maybe we should let people know too that this is your first read through. So you don't know anything past 6. Jake and I are seasoned Wheel of Time experts, fans. I don't know what we are, but we've read them.
Yep. So first time through. This is the first one that kind of like went down, like wasn't as good as the previous one for me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like it wasn't. That said, it wasn't like awful. I don't want to like say the book was not worth a read. It was still good. It didn't feel like the action, like there was as much action throughout. A lot more politics. That's my first. Yeah, those are my first.
So did you like the politics? There's some series where I really like the politics. It's really great intrigue. Others where it's a bit of a slog. Sounds like maybe you didn't love it.
There were certain points I liked, certain moments. I just thought it was a little long. Yeah, there are other series too where I've liked the politics, and I just thought there was not enough like substance in the politics in this one.
I can see that. I honestly, I don't know. It's hard to give a impartial judgment because of knowing where the series goes and everything. But and rereading the book, knowing where the book is going, I will say this book is definitely more, like Steven said, the world expands even more. The character list gets bigger. You have to pay attention to a lot more of these plots that are happening. And like Caden said, there's not as much action, but I feel like it all kind of explodes at the end. Like everything you've been waiting for comes at the end. So if you're reading it and you're like, I don't know, this isn't worth it, I think the ending is done very well. And it's also, I agree with you, Steven, that it like changes the mood of the series in 2 different ways. It expands it so much greater, which it's been doing slowly, but I feel like this is like where it bursts at the seams. And then also the mood gets a little darker than the previous entries.
Yeah.
A lot darker, I would say. So it's kind of a turning point in the series, I'd say. And with the politicking, generally, I'm not a big fan of politicking, but I liked it in this book. And again, it's hard to say whether on its own it's good or just knowing how these plots continue throughout the series.
I think it's a little similar to some of the middle books of A Song of Ice and Fire. I mean, obviously they have 2 different feels to it, but just in terms of the world's expanding and like the base conflict has kind of changed here quite a bit. Yeah. Okay, so why should you read this book? Let's talk to someone who's read the first 5 books, just finished Fires of Heaven. It's like, Lord of Chaos, should I read? Should I not? Why should they read?
I'd say it's a game changer for a lot of the characters. Like this book, I can think of two characters in particular where it really defines their path moving forward, and how they're going to change and grow into become different people. And it's really, I feel like, a game changer for the plot in general as well. You start to see some things become more serious and dire, and you start to kind of get a sense for how threatening the antagonist can be.
Yeah. I don't want to be a hater based on my previous comments here. I've got to redeem myself a little bit. If you've enjoyed the first 5 books, you're going to enjoy this book. There was never a moment when I was like, oh man, I'm like done with this book. I can't keep going, or it was hard to get through. I just read it like normal, and it was enjoyable. And this book definitely opens.
Caden, so that said, Caden, why should someone not read? I mean, not that we're advocating for people not to read, but just, to kind of to put the coin on the other side. What were some things that maybe were a little bit of a detractor for you? Because you said it wasn't quite as good as the first 5.
Yeah, good question.
No reasons. Everyone should read.
Apparently, you should. Yeah, I really don't have any good ones. Why you wouldn't?
I think, like you're saying, like, it's not so much this book is bad. It's just the other ones seem to be like ramping up consistently, and this one is a little bit. There's like a lull before the storm. That's kind of the setup of the plot structure. So while you're reading it, not knowing where it's going, like you're not really sure what's going to be the end of this book, and so it can kind of be like, what's even happening? But having read it before, and I'm also a major fanboy, so take my take with a grain of salt. But knowing what's coming and like seeing all the ways that plot is being added to and builded on without you knowing it, like going back and seeing these hints, is really entertaining.
Yeah.
I was going to say as well, one of the reasons why you should read is, even though I don't even know what's coming, there's definitely been a lot of new characters that were introduced, or different situations, I guess, that weren't
so many
resolved.
Characters.
Yeah.
Right. And so I know that they're going to play a big part, or there'll be, plot points later on in other books. For this particular book, it wasn't very satisfying for those, because you're just like, hey, there's this thing, who knows what is going to happen, but you don't get the result here.
A little bit.
I will say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I'll agree with you, Jake. I think that the structure of this one was really well done, like an arc in and of itself. There are a lot of things at the beginning, and we'll talk about this in the spoiler review in our next episode. But there are a lot of things at the very beginning that really had a great payoff at the very exciting climactic part at the end. But in the middle, you're like, man, not a lot is happening here. And I think that Caden, as a first-time reader, through the first 5, it's like, yeah, stuff's happening. It's exciting. And then you get to this one, you're like, what happened?
Yeah, and I think that's like part of how the way that the world is becoming bigger is that it's like more groundwork being laid, and it is kind of as a first-time reader, you have to like kind of take a leap of faith whether you want to keep investing in this. I will also say another negative thing about this book compared to others is there weren't as many like standout character moments as much. Like we talked last time about about Nynaeve and how great Nynaeve was in Fires of Heaven. Am I remembering that right? I think that was. Yeah. And just like you can point to, oh man, this Nynaeve shown so well in this book, things like that. And this one, I think there are good character moments, but they're not as enjoyable to watch happen or read. Like their characters are taking. I'll say Rand. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but I feel like Rand's arc, especially in this book, is really has a big focus on him, like the whole series. His arc, you're not as excited and happy to see how he grows as a character. Other characters more so, but they don't get as much screen time. It's more like setup. But I could see that being a reason why this book is less enjoyed.
Okay, so
I would say,
go ahead.
I would say their arcs are more situational almost than like character growth. Like their personalities they don't level up, but things happen to them. It's kind of what I agree
Yeah.
with you, Jake, with what you said.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what you guys are saying is, and one of the things we're going to do in our non-spoiler reviews is talk about our favorite aspect of the book. So like setting, characters, plot, prose, whatever. So it sounds like we're thinking maybe not characters for this one, more of like a self-contained plot, and meaning that the ending really pays off well.
I'd say that. I mean, like what happens with Rand's character is really important, but it's not as like fun to read, I would say, especially as a first time read through. But yeah, I would say it's more plot important.
Yeah. Okay. I'll agree. I mean, I'll say plot. Setting as well. I think it's kind of cool to have them start to jump around a bit more and have the world expanded. But okay, so now let's say who is our one favorite character. This might be a little bit of a teaser for our top 3, bottom 3 in our spoiler episode. So just say one character. Don't say anything about him. Just who is your favorite one in this book?
Jake, you should go first here.
It's hard. I'm trying to think. There's like, I'll say the character who I enjoyed reading from the most was Matt this book. He's got some good moments.
All right.
Mine was Egwene, actually, in this book.
Yeah, she also has some really good ones. Yeah.
She might be the one that levels up the most, similar to the Nynaeve step up from Fires of Heaven. Okay, I'm going to say my favorite character was the Amhail Mazrim Taim. Man, he was tight.
We do get like a lot more, like a bigger look into his personality and his dynamic, which is really appreciated.
Man, he's a good character. So I mean, there's a lot of questions around him, and we're not going to spoil anything past this for Caden, but this was a great book for him. So loved that.
Dang, my pick was weak now. I was thinking of one specific moment that Matt just made me laugh, and that's why I picked him.
But I think I know what you're talking
listen
about.
Listen to Stephen and Caden on this one when it comes to characters.
Yeah. All right.
But
so
you can never go wrong choosing Matt, though. Just saying.
Yeah, Matt's always great. He's always got enough to pull through. All right. So out of 10, what do you guys give this book? And this might be a little tricky because we haven't rated things out of 10 yet. So there's no data to back this up. So like Jake's 5 could be amazing, and my 7 could be like super watered down. But what do you, let's start. What do you think out of 10?
I'd go with a 6.5.
Ooh, okay.
Woof.
Jake's like 10.
No, not 10 for me. With the way I'm envisioning it, 1 is like, I would never want to read this again. 5 is like neutral. I would say it's probably like an 8. Like whenever I'm rereading the series, I'm really looking forward to the climax of this book.
Oh, for sure.
I can kind of forgive anything else that isn't as enjoyable, but I totally understand from a first read why that would feel that way.
Yeah. I'll say everything before the climax 5, climax 10. Therefore, I'm going 7.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nice little average there.
Yeah.
For the kids at home. All right. So thanks for listening to the non-spoiler review of Lord of Chaos. And go ahead and tune into our very next episode that we're going to record back to back right now. And this is going to be full on spoilers. So hopefully you've read the book. Or if you haven't, I mean, maybe you enjoy things spoiled for you. But if you like Phantology, check us out at www.phantologybooks.com for our full catalog. You can support us on patreon.com/phantology_books and look for our Discord invites and hop in there and discuss the book with us. I mean, obviously, you've probably read them all, but tell us your theories, tell us your favorite characters, what you like, what you don't like, etc. We'd be happy to chat with you more there. So Caden and Jake, thanks for this non-spoiler review, and I'll see you guys on the flip side to talk spoilers.
Yeah, thank you.